And we are back for the afternoon of day 5, the Rob Telly's Boss Baby trial out of Las Vegas, Nevada. We're going to make it over safely from the morning stream. Welcome. Welcome. Chantal, that is a great question. What is everyone's favorite cupcake flavor? Great question. Put it in the chat. I love a red velvet, I think. I like red velvet. Also, like carrot cake cupcakes are really good. And what do you guys like? I mean, any cupcake is good, right? Any cupcake is good. You're all cupcakes to me. Nope, you're not missing anything driving your brother around. You're a good sibling. Chocolate, a lot of chocolates. Lemon cupcakes are good. That's a great idea, Nanny Goat. I never really think about a lemon cupcake. That would be good. Lemon. A lot of people like lemon. A lot of chocolate. Strawberry. And then Jen Lee, best of all, says, the kind I don't have to make, which is really quite an excellent answer. I love it. So I think that unless they were able to find somebody else to come in to testify this afternoon, the defense only has one witness for the afternoon. Magnolia Bakery cupcakes are really the best. Lemon cupcake in the summer, that slaps, says Liz Maffey. Yeah, carrot cake is good. Red velvet with, of course, cream cheese ice cream. What other kind of icing could you possibly have on a red velvet cupcake? It's the only acceptable icing, in my own personal opinion. They're back, but they're not back. So we'll just keep it small because people get worried that we're going to mess it, but we never do. It's right here. They've typically been on time for the most part in the courtroom of the Honorable Justice Michelle Leavitt. Julie, you don't like any cupcakes? You don't like any cupcakes? None. And then another vice has never had a cupcake that he or she didn't like. It's the cannabis-infused cupcake for me, says Mary. Strawberry cupcakes would be awesome. Now everyone's going to get hungry. Remember the other day when they were talking about tacos for breakfast? Everybody wanted tacos. That was in this trial. German chocolate cupcakes are the best. I love coconut. A lot of people don't like coconut. A lot of people hate coconut. Coconut is like Dave Matthews Band. Either you love them or you hate them. I think there's really no middle ground on coconut. Tell me if I'm wrong. You know I love Dave. I mean, there's a poster of Dave right behind me. But I feel like there's really no middle ground with Dave Matthews Band. People like coconut. Good. What's the over-under on whether the defense is going to have a witness that's helpful for them today? Because if you're just tuning in and missed the morning stream, they had an expert witness on the stand, Dr. Mark Chambers, whose sole purpose was to testify as an expert that just because a person may attempt to take his or her own life, it does not, in fact, indicate consciousness of guilt. But then on a really excellent direct by the prosecutor, the expert had to admit that they could want to take their own life because of their career being ruined, right? Or because of articles that were written about them that were demeaning, or about, or if indeed it did in fact kill somebody. So, I mean, I thought it was a big nothing. I liked the witness personally. Thought he was a nice doctor, probably a great expert, but he didn't have a whole lot to work with. Psychobabble daddy. This is the trial of beautiful witnesses. We have seen, first of all, so many stunning women in law enforcement, so many women in law enforcement that were such just truthful, honest, nobody had chip on their shoulder type of witnesses. It's been amazing, really. It's been quite a trial that I'm really enjoying, and I hope you're enjoying it as well. Hi, Michelle, to Ireland, 9:30 p.m. in Ireland. So 5 hours ahead of New York. Sometimes you're 6 hours ahead, right? I don't know. This whole daylight saving thing is really, it's like enough already. Why do we got to keep changing the clocks? I thought they were going to do away with that. And if they are, when? Um, Fell asleep. All right. So you took a little nap. Good for you, Michelle. And nothing's better than a little nap. Really, naps are amazing. Glad to have you back. Crystal, totally the most polite and respectful trial that we've watched in a very, very long time. Olivia Nile makes a really good coconut pound cake. Coconut pokey cake? Or did you mean coconut pound cake? Like pokey, like tuna pokey, like raw fish and coconut? No, you can't mean that. A wedding cake cupcake, Shabani says, is a white cupcake with almond frosting. That sounds really good. Kimmy agrees that as trials go, this one is a joy. Really is a joy. Thank you, Chantal, for being here for 9 months as a member. 9 months of pure deliciousness, she says. And you should believe her because she knows exactly what she's talking about. Right, Chantal? I have the same little fly in my room here that I did yesterday, and it just won't go away. It will not go away. I would like the clocks to stay where they are too. Thank you, Kimberly, for agreeing with me. Like, why do we need to keep doing that? Coconut poke cake. It's where you poke tiny holes in the cake so it soaks in sweet coconut. Now, that sounds delicious. That sounds really good. Patriotic says, I'm all for changing the clocks, but only if it can stay sunny all day, morning to morning. Yeah, that would be great. I don't know. I think we do need some nighttime sometimes, though. Otherwise, how would you go to sleep? I mean, I guess you could have blackout shades. Anybody see the full moon last night? You couldn't see it here because we had wicked storms. Wicked storms. But it looked amazing. It was the super moon. Saw some pictures of it. It looked really great. Full moon in Mercury retrograde. Not even just a full moon, a full super moon. Corn Pope's like, no, Olivia Nile, I'm sorry. I love your tweets, but I would not like your cake. Yeah, those little flies are so annoying. I don't know. Where does the time go? I don't know where the time goes. Uncle John's band. Yeah, this is interesting, K-Pick, right? Move to Alaska and you can have daylight nonstop. It's the weirdest thing, and sleep absolutely is not great. Do you live in Alaska, K-Pick? I have some friends that I met in college when I was in Boulder, and they would go to Alaska to fish over the summer. And they would make tons of money on those fishing boats for the summer. But that is a very, very dangerous job, and I just can't imagine what it would be like, right? Light all day. It's called Alaska in the summer, and it's not that great. And then is it dark during other parts of the year? 24 hours a day? That would depress the hell out of me. I have seasonal affective disorder. When it gets like when I don't see the sun for a week, it really bothers me. That's why I love Colorado. 360 days a year. Went to college there, and I liked it so much that I stayed in Boulder to go to law school at University of Denver. Now, sadly, I'm back in New York, and I regret that decision almost every day. Rosura lives 25 minutes from Boulder. You're very, very lucky. Go Buffs. We got Coach Dion. We got Coach Sanders this year. We coming. We coming. That's the new slogan. We coming. If you guys don't follow Deion Sanders on Instagram, you should. He's incredibly inspirational. What an amazing coach. He really loves his players. He's got such an amazing coaching style. Love it. Andrea lived in Alaska and had to put foil on her window just to fall asleep. Crazy. They're back. You were stationed there for 4 years. Thank you for your service, K-Pick. Get ready for some more split screen action. Law and Crime has been stepping up its game, and it's very exciting.
To the presence of the panel. Yes, Your Honor. And the defense. Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Everyone, please be seated. Tracy Torres Migliore.
Okay, next witness. I'm going to wait and see how she spells Tracy before I type it out in the banner. Because in this trial, unlike so many others, they actually have the witness spell their first name too. Imagine that. This is like crazy town. Vegas is like crazy town. Big question, is Tellus going to testify? I think he absolutely is. I think he's got a huge ego. He's been saying pre-trial he wants to testify. He wants to get his story out there. And quite frankly, I think that without his testimony, it's a slam dunk against him. So he kind of has to.
And if you'll remain standing, raise your right hand and face the clerk, please.
You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Hey now.
You may be seated. Please state and spell your first and last name for the record.
TRACYMIGLIORE.
Thank you. Ma'am, you also go by, is it Migliore?
Just go by Migliore, yes.
Okay. Turning your attention back to September of 2022. Did you see something on TV that caused you to call the police?
Yes.
Do you recall what the circumstances were and what you saw on TV that caused you to call police?
The description of the person I seen in the park, what they were wearing stood out.
And did you see video on TV concerning a crime in reference to a journalist, and you saw clips of that and you said, I recognize that person?
Yes.
If I may turn your attention, and for the record, this is State's Exhibit 338. This is the press release that was released on September 5th, 2022.
They're going to use her to say they had other tips they didn't follow up on. She probably called Crime
Not
Stoppers.
playing. Can you see that?
Yes.
Wearing gloves. He is wearing gloves. He or she.
Was that the clip that you had seen on TV?
Yes.
And as a result of seeing this clip, did you call the police?
Yes.
Now, you had testified, get this to stop, that you had seen something that gave rise to concern because you had seen this individual previously.
That's correct.
Where was it that you saw what you believed was this individual?
At Bruce Trent Park?
Bruce Trent Park?
Yes.
That's in Clark County, Nevada.
Yes.
Is Bruce Trent Park off of Vegas Drive in Rampart?
That's correct.
When did you see this individual?
It was about 4:30 in the evening.
Okay. And what date do you recall?
It was on the 28th of August.
So that would have been a Sunday.
That's correct.
And about 4:30.
Yes.
I'm going to show you what, if we could have marked as defense exhibit.
She does look terrified. She's just a lay witness. I mean, she's a person who called Crime Stoppers. And let's just point out again that all of the workers who were in the area of Gehrman's home that were working on that sewer project in August were wearing the very same, if not identical, outfit to what this perp wore.
And this will be admitted by stipulation?
Sure.
I'm going to show you, and if I could get the Alamo up.
Hey now, Jason. Iko all day. Well, she knows she's on YouTube and
This right here,
TV.
Bruce Trent Park. I showed you this prior to your testimony.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
And that's the park you were at?
That's correct.
Now, is this a Summerlin Park? Is there like a soccer park complex there?
Yes, I believe there's for softball and maybe ice skating. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Just other things.
So when you saw this person, it was Sunday, August 28th, 2022, was a warm outside.
Very warm. Okay.
And anything catch your attention concerning this individual that you saw?
Yes. Yes.
What did you see, please?
I seen somebody that was fully covered from head to toe and wearing black gloves. Yes.
Did this individual have tennis shoes on?
Yes.
You have to speak up.
Yes. Yes.
Did this individual have a straw hat on like the one that we saw in that clip?
Yes, sir.
And where did you see this person at this Bruce Trent Park?
I seen him walking across the children's play area,
Okay.
and I seen him enter the men's restroom.
If I could have what's going to be marked and admitted by stipulation, defense exhibit.
C2.
C2.
No objection.
Is this the bathroom in this Bruce Trent Park?
Yes, sir.
How long was this person around this bathroom?
He went in and then he went out, came out, and then he went back in.
And you say he, how do you know that it was a male versus a female?
I can tell by the way he walked.
Okay.
I
Did you
like the
interact
way
with
you
this person?
walk.
Speak
No.
to this person?
No, I did not.
I like
Were you
the way
concerned regarding the way this person looked in reference to your grandchildren or those that you were with?
Yes, I was very concerned for the children in the park.
She thought he was a creepy
Now,
pedo.
you didn't call the police on August 28th, this Sunday, when you saw this person.
No, I did not.
But you called the police after you saw this person again on September 5th for this release. It was a Metro press release concerning a suspect.
Yes, I saw it.
And did you call and give the same description, these same concerns when you called? And let me ask you this, it was on September 7th, wasn't it, that you called?
Yes.
Were you ever interviewed by any detectives or any police officers in reference to this person that you saw?
No.
Did this person also have a bag?
Yes.
Do you recall what type of bag this person had?
A duffel bag.
A duffel bag. Do you recall the color?
It was black.
A black duffel bag.
Yes.
Was this person's face covered
Yes.
with gloves?
Mm. Telly's duffel bag wasn't black. It was gray or maybe like a light chambray blue, but it wasn't black. Mm.
With gloves.
Yes, I'm asking you, this person have gloves?
Oh, he had gloves on, but his face was covered with a mask.
Okay.
You know, like a COVID mask.
And you were able on August 28th to get a good look at this person's getup.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
You got a good
Getup
view
is
of this
right.
person.
Yes.
You were close enough. About how far were you from me to you? Farther? What was your vantage point?
Probably where the officer is at the back door.
Okay. Good 30 feet?
Yes.
Thank you.
At one point, I was that far. He was that far from me, but as he went into the men's restroom, I was closer. I could see him a lot closer.
You never spoke to him?
No.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Okay.
Trying to show the police never followed up on this tip.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi. Mhm.
Let's talk about, this is Defense Exhibit 22. I think you just said that you, at one point, were about 30, oh,
Sorry, for the record, that's Z2.
ZZ, thank you. I believe you said at one point you were like 30 feet from this individual.
Yes.
And so can you, there's a mouse in front of you. Do you see that on the table?
Okay.
Are you able to kind of indicate where you were and where that person was?
So, if I may ask, is the right side the women's bathroom and the left side is the men's restroom?
So I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to give you
Okay.
answers, but maybe you could just point out where you were.
Okay. I was actually, I'm gonna say it was about kind of like back over here.
Okay, so in the image, sort of the lower right corner in that sand area,
Mm-hmm.
is that yes? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
please.
And the individual was closer, I assume, to the structure?
Yes,
And which side of the structure was the individual on?
on the men's side.
Okay, and whatever side that is?
Yes.
And do you recall now which side that was?
I'm trying to identify the park because I've been to this park several times. And I'm trying to identify what side
Oh,
the
okay.
men's restroom is on. It's not
Okay.
really clear, you know?
Okay, so you can't, I mean,
It's hard to tell.
you've been to that part, but you can't tell by this photo where you were? Or which side, I guess, is the men's side, if I'm understanding you?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's way far over here is the men's side.
Okay, so then to the other side of the picture.
Yes.
And then you're, as I understood you, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were more in the sand area in the lower right part of the picture?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, and so did that distance ever get closer?
Yes, because he walked across the children's playground area to the men's restroom.
Okay, so,
So I
and
seen him from far away, and
Okay.
it concerned me when I first saw him. But then when he walked across the playground to the men's restroom, that concerned me even more.
okay. Now, the person that you saw, you assume male because of how the person walked?
Yes,
How tall was the person?
I'd say about 5'9", 5'8", 5'9".
5'8" or 5'9"? And we said that you believe the person was male. It sounds like the person had gloves on, and then I think I heard you say a face covering as well.
Yes.
So I would assume you don't know what that person's face looks like.
Well, I seen his face when he was running.
Okay,
He was
So-
running.
tell me about that.
So when I left the park with my granddaughter, I went around the corner up Durango.
Uh-huh,
Let's see. So there's Rampart, and then there's another side, which is Durango.
okay.
So I went up Durango towards West Cliff, I believe it is.
Mhm.
And I seen him running up, running towards another park that's down the other way. But as he was running, his hat was coming off, and his hoodie was coming off, and he didn't have his face mask on. But
Okay,
he looked like a light-skinned male bald.
light-skinned male bald.
Yeah.
And you said
Light-skinned
there was a
male
hoodie
bald.
as well?
That's
Okay, could
correct.
that have
What
been
color-
Telly's doing a dress rehearsal? How is this helping you, defense attorney? How is this helping you? And do we have a height on Boss Baby? Does anybody 5'8" to 5'9", bald, light-skinned male? That's that's the defendant. Mr. Draskovich, did you not properly ask questions of this witness? This is the defense's witness. They called her. They called her to point out that, listen, she called Crime Stoppers or the police or whoever when she saw them release their press release of the guy in that outfit to say, I saw that guy on the 28th of August at the park when I was with my granddaughter. And she probably is thinking he was creepy. She didn't want him around kids. He went into the restroom, and now she's saying she saw him running down the street. This is on Cross. And his hat started coming off, and his hoodie started coming off, and he's a light-skinned male who's bald. Okay. Oh, this is where Boss Baby is smacking himself in the face going, I should have represented myself. I should have represented myself. Stupid, 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 stupid. Let's see if they show him. I want to see them show him in that third screen right now.
Was that hoodie?
I believe it was a dark gray.
Dark gray?
Yeah.
And then the build of the person, would you say heavy build, medium build,
Thin.
thin?
Yeah.
And when you see his face, how far away are you at that point?
Well, I'm driving, and he's running on the sidewalk. So
Okay.
I'd say about maybe 30 feet.
Okay, 30 feet.
Maybe less. I don't know.
Was your car actually moving?
Yes, it was moving.
Okay, so you're in kind of a moving car and then you observe him this second
I
time?
was going slow, yes.
Yeah.
Just to see, yeah.
Okay, and the person, as I understand it, caused you concern, but you didn't really see the person do anything except run and kind of walk across the children's playground?
Yes.
Okay, and when you saw the individual in the park when you weren't in your car, the person had gloves on
Yes,
and then tennis shoes?
correct.
And walked, I guess, looking at this exhibit, is the children's park to the right side?
It's just depending on what street you're on. If you're in Vegas, you're looking at the splash pad and the men's restroom. If you're
Okay.
on Rampart, you're going to be looking at the actual whole playground,
Uh-huh,
and you'll see the side of the women's bathroom.
okay. And
Notice how they cut Boss Baby out of frame here? Oh man, I'm dying to see his face right now. All we can see is Drskovich's face, and now Draskovich is doing the boss baby pose with the fist under the chin, except it's his other hand. Stupid, stupid, stupid.
This exhibit on, that we have in front of you, does that not give you enough detail to be able to orient on where that playground might be?
No, it doesn't give me enough detail
Okay,
because then it's kind of hard to determine my distance,
sure,
you know, especially because we were at the splash pad at one point
okay,
and we walked away from the splash pad because of that.
okay. And then when you saw the person near the men's restroom, the individual walked in and walked out?
Yes,
How long was the person in the restroom?
just for a second.
A second?
Walked in, yeah. I'd say maybe like 5 seconds and then walked out.
Okay. And you see all this on August the 28th?
That's correct.
And obviously nothing about it on August the 28th caused you concern, right? I mean, to call the police, I should say.
It did, but I think I was just trying to process it because I was a little creeped out by it,
Okay.
you know?
And what made you, like, when you say like creeped out on August the 28th?
It didn't look right. Something looked very eerie about the whole thing,
Okay.
especially the way he was moving his hands.
And
That frightened me, and especially because the children were there's a lot of kids at the playground that day.
okay. So you were concerned about this person like immediately when you saw him on August the 28th?
Yes.
And then,
Just to point out for some people, because some people are saying maybe that's where he threw away the knife. This is before the murder. So she sees him on August 28th. The murder is on September 2nd. So August has 31 days because we do the 31 days. That's September, April, June, November. So 5 days before the murder. But he may have been doing a dry run or some sort of dress rehearsal because they did have surveillance footage of what they thought was his Denali days before, right? And I'm going to have to go back and watch the testimony again to see if any of it was on the 28th of August.
you get in the car with the children that are with you and then you see him again running.
Yes.
What was he doing that caused you concern when he was running?
I don't know. I think it was just seeing him walking the way he did and then seeing him running. It made me think something happened or something was happening. I didn't know. I was more concerned he was going to go to another park. And I don't know. I was just scared for the kids.
She
That's
thought he
all.
was a
You were
pedo.
scared for the kids. Did you ever see him interact with the kid?
No, nothing. at all.
And when you say like you were concerned about the way he was walking, what about that caused you concern?
Something just didn't look right about it.
Okay. And was it like because the person was walking fast or slow
Well,
or?
first of all, he was completely covered with gloves on in the heat that way.
Mhm,
He didn't look like a homeless man.
sure.
So that's what caught my
clothing.
attention. It caught my attention, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so were you, based on what you saw on August the 28th, did you think about calling the police and reporting this person?
No, it didn't dawn on me just yet what was going on. I kind of like just let it be. I know I wasn't really thinking something was going to happen, you know.
Okay. And so
Yeah.
it's sometime after that that you see the public information video sent out by Metro?
Yes.
Do you remember what date you saw that?
I believe it was the 7th.
The 7th of September?
I believe so.
Okay, so what do
Um,
you have up there?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was just my notes of the date.
Oh,
Of the date.
may I
I'm
have
sorry.
a copy of those, please, Your Honor?
Take her notes. You can take them. Anything a witness brings into the courtroom is fair game, my friends. That's why I would always tell my clients, do not bring a file, do not bring a folder, do not bring notes, do not bring your diary. Do not bring anything with you to a deposition or to court. She's got notes. How did Draskovich miss this? Come on, man.
And then I'll give them back to
No
you.
worries. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So these notes that you gave me on this piece of paper, did you type these?
Actually, my husband did.
Okay.
But
It was sort of based on what you're
it
saying?
was based on the police report that I made. Yes. Based on the police report that I made.
Okay,
Yeah.
so at some point, it looks like on your notes, it says Wednesday, 9/7 at 7:43 PM.
Okay.
Is that the date you
That's
called the
date.
police?
Yes.
Okay, and so you reported, you saw something on TV and then you make the report after that?
Yes.
Okay, and then did your husband just write these in order for you to keep your memory to sort of, I
Just
guess?
to help me, because it was, 2022, so
Yeah.
it was a little foggy from that point,
Okay.
yeah.
And then, so did you kind of, it seems like you explained exactly what you've just testified to
Yes.
this afternoon?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. And then after you made your report of the sighting to the police, it's my understanding that you weren't talked to?
No,
Okay. And did you ever make like any kind of follow-up call?
no,
Did you ever see this person in the area of that park again?
no, I hadn't gone back to that park for a long time,
Okay.
yeah.
Not just at the park, but anywhere? Had you ever seen the person
Never,
again?
no.
Never? Okay. So the one time you see this person is on August the 28th?
That's correct.
And how long total time do you think you had to observe the person?
About 30 minutes.
Okay, so
Possibly.
quite a bit of time.
In between that time, yeah. It was in between that time of 30 minutes. Because I had to have my granddaughter home at 5.
Okay,
So we were kind of rushing, trying to play and get her home.
yeah.
So
Did you think because of the outfit, the person might have been a worker or groundskeeper, or
it did not look like that at all.
because the outfit looked different than that to you, or?
He looked very peculiar. I don't know.
Peculiar?
Yeah,
Okay.
just
Was there reflection
Something didn't
on
seem
the
right.
clothing? Was the clothing reflective?
no.
There was no reflective
No.
clothing on at all? Okay.
What color was the
And
shirt?
then just sort of the hat that you described?
Yes, and something just didn't seem right because that hoodie was very tight on his face.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there's a hoodie and then a hat on top of that?
Yes,
Okay, and that hoodie, I think you described as sort of darker color?
yes,
And then you see that when he's running and the hat comes up a little bit?
yeah.
Okay,
It was coming off.
okay,
As he was running.
just 1 second, okay?
So he had a hoodie underneath the hat. It was probably
Okay.
Your Honor, may I approach? I'd like to return her notes to her.
110 to 115 degrees.
If that's okay with the witness and counsel, that's fine.
Do you mind if we mark it, make it part of the record, or do you want a copy of it?
Yeah, make it part of the record.
So just court's exhibit. right?
Yeah.
The, court's exhibit.
May I
That's fine.
approach?
May.
It's going to be court exhibit number 16.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Draskovich?
Thank you, ma'am. I have no further questions. Thank you
Okay.
for your
Am I
testimony.
Thank
done?
you very much.
Thank you.
for your-
I was thinking of my cousin
Thank
Vinny.
you very much for your testimony here today. You may step down. And you'll excuse me, your subpoena. Thank you very much for being here. Can you call your next witness?
Your Honor, the second witness we were going to call, Ms. Loftus, had a flight delay. It's the way things work out. She was coming early. If there's a flight delay, she's not going to be here until late this afternoon. We anticipate calling her in the morning. There's another issue concerning a witness that I believe that we were going to address at the
Sure.
present.
Can I set the attorney's approach so we can decide the time tomorrow?
We finally hit a hitch here. We've been moving along so quickly. Now his next witness is flying in from somewhere, and I'm not surprised that there's a lot of flight delays with all the weather we've been having here in the on the East Coast, and this horrific hurricane. I think it's Ernesto that we're up to now. People were talking about the way that he walks, and the way that he walks is like somebody who has a slight limp, perhaps, or someone who slightly favors one side, or may have a leg shortening. And I'm not sure which is the case with Telus because they haven't told us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to conclude for the day. During this recess, you're admonished not to discuss or communicate with anyone, including your fellow jurors, in any way regarding the case or its merits, either by voice, phone, email, text, internet, or the means of communication, or social media, or read, watch, or listen to any news or media accounts or commentary about the case. Do any research, consult dictionaries, the internet, or reference materials. Do any investigation, test a theory, recreate any aspect of the case, or in any other way investigate or learn about the case on your own or form or express any opinion regarding the case until it is finally submitted to you. We'll be in recess till tomorrow morning at 10:30. Thank you very much. And you're excused.
Oh, come on. Please let us watch some argument with the attorneys and some conference, and let us get a little bit more of our mashup. Cyndi Lauper, Betsey Johnson, 90s Madonna, Judge Michelle Leavitt, with the voice of Megan Mullally's character, Karen Walker from Will and Grace. I don't know who is in the courtroom. I'm not recognizing any women from the toxic workplace of Rob Tellis when he worked at the public administrator's office. I'll take this down and see if they come back, but I'm not that hopeful. So let's see. That witness was a big fail because he was bald. We don't know how tall Tellis is. We have not gotten any information on how tall he is, as far as I know, unless I missed that. But I've been here with you every single day watching the testimony, and I don't think anybody's asked him. And this was 5 days before. She said when he was running, that's when his hoodie and his hat started to fall off. So there's that, and they are going on to Young Thug. If you guys have not been watching Lil Woody's testimony, it's comedy gold. I mean, I watched it only for one day, so really that's all I can say. But no, she's not. I'm not bashing the witness at all. I'm saying that witness was, I think, a slam dunk for the prosecution. All she did was call Crime Stoppers or whatever she called, whatever number she called, right? After the incident, she didn't report him that day because let's say he didn't do anything that was, in her mind, worth reporting. He wasn't creeping around kids or anything. She just, noticed the crazy outfit that he was wearing, that he was going into the men's room at a children's park and running towards another park. And she thought it was odd, and she didn't think of calling until she saw the picture and the video on the news of the guy they were looking for, who may or who did kill Jeff Gehrman, the investigative reporter for the Las Vegas Review-Journal. We've only seen 2 witnesses today. We saw this lady, this woman who was nice enough to come in, who was perhaps an eyewitness to something or someone dressed in a similar outfit 5 days before the murder. But again, she said he was bald. It was a defense witness. They didn't ask. And then we also heard from Dr. Chambers, not his name, Dr. Mark Chambers this morning, who was an expert witness for the defense, a clinical and forensic psychologist who admitted on cross-examination that a person who attempts suicide is not necessarily showing consciousness of guilt, but on cross-examination admitted they may actually be looking for attention. So I don't know, kind of crazy. See if you guys have any questions. KCL wants to know what advantage would her notes be the prosecution? Because you never know what they're going to say, right? Could be something in her notes that she left out. Could be some more description in her notes that she didn't mention or wasn't asked about. So you never know. You won't know until you see the notes, but that's a good question. Sarah in Schwackenhuara. Outside of special circumstances, being a minor or a victim, do witnesses have any rights to request not being shown on camera during their testimony? Typically not. Typically not, although I imagine it would depend on local court rules. Sometimes they can ask to be disguised or their voice disguised, but typically an eyewitness such as this, probably not. Someone posted in the chat that his arrest record says he's 5'9". Isn't that exactly what she said? 5'8" to 5'9"? Somebody who hasn't watched the testimony yet on the surveillance video, witnesses, can go back and let us know if he was driving around casing out the joint on that same day of 8/28. Right? So, Jessica, please pull up the picture of Tellis without his shirt on, the back view. I noticed his shoulder blades were not in alignment. Thank you so much, Jessica, but where am I going to find that on the fly? Where am I going to pull that up? Do you think maybe that's why he walks the way he does? That's why he's got an altered gait? I do know that Zachary, the real estate broker, came in and testified that he immediately knew or thought that it was Rob Tellis when he saw the clip on television, because he said that's exactly the way he walks. And that's exactly the cheap sneakers that he wears from Ross or Marshalls that are imitation Nikes that have plastic tops on them. I mean, let's see if I can find this picture. Without going through that, and it wasn't today. They didn't show them in court today. And I don't like to have dead air. So, I mean, if somebody has them, you can email them to me at fanbase@mlittlelaw.com. But aside from that, I can't use airtime trying to find them. But I agree. I mean, he may have scoliosis or something. That may be. Thank you very much for your super chat, Jessica. Very well, maybe why he's got an altered gait, but I cannot confirm nor deny. I am not Tracy Migliore. So let's put that away. There was a crooked man that had a crooked house. All right, Gen X chick is confirming. She found a PDF of his arrest record. It says 5'9" and 175 pounds. So there's that. Yeah, I don't see how the defense thought that witness was going to help them. Well, I think, no ordinary mom, I think they called her to say that, look, the police didn't follow up on any other suspects. This guy was reported to be in the area. But I mean, do they have like 100 other tipsters too, or who are going to come in and say other things and maybe give us some sort of third party culprit? I don't know. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if he had some sort of trauma earlier. I don't know. Sadly, my friends, I have some bad news for you. I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow. It doesn't seem like there's going to be a lot happening tomorrow anyway, so that's the good news. The bad news is you won't be able to hang out with me during court. So what I would suggest that you do, I will recommend 2 channels that I recommend highly. Recovery Addict, who has been streaming this trial live. He's a great guy, very kind. And also Brandy Churchwell is also streaming the trial. So I will recommend both of them to you. Tell them that I sent you. I'll give you options. But I do suggest you don't go to Law and Crime and try and survive the chat there, because it's going to be very, it's a little bit scary over there. It's a little scary. I know. I'm sorry. Kids come first, as always. And it is that time. Defense Diaries. Yes. Thank you, Kirsten. Is it Kirsten? No, Kristen said that. Kristen said Defense Diaries as well. So look, I'm going to recommend you to some people that I like, that I know, that are sensitive, that have kind chats, that don't put up with the BS. Some of them are different than others, and there's somebody for everybody. So, yep, Brandy for sure. So it's Brandy, Recovery Addict, or Defense Diaries. Your pick. Tell them I sent you. Let me know how you like it. And look, it's a risk for me, right? It's a risk for me because you might find somebody you like better to watch your trials with. But creators should help other creators. And that's what I like to do here, because, cool, kind, and classy. And that is me. So if you wind up liking somebody else better and going to watch their coverage, then good for them. That's amazing. And we all should. There's enough room for everyone. Thank you so very much. There is nothing much else to talk about, my friends. Nothing much else to talk about here, at least on this case. I'm thinking it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Gen X chick. I love you. If you guys would all subscribe, it would really help the channel. It would help me in my personal quest to beat Vinnie Politan in subscribers and get me off that number that I don't like, that 66,666 number. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Just for the day. I don't think there'll even be anything like for us to recap. So, there's that. Anybody else have a question before we wrap? I'll wait for a second. They do indeed. They do indeed. And if you would help the like button, it helps push the video out there. 1,101 of you in here right now. That would be an amazing gift that you could give to me, just like the gift that you give to me every day with your presence. Any word on the motions? Nope. Nope. I am not thinking. Yeah, we have a hall. You have a hall pass to cheat on me tomorrow, Michael. You do. Yep, Chantal. That's the only witness they had lined up for today. The defense didn't think the trial was going to move as quickly as it did, and they have all their subpoenas lined up for the end of week. So we were hoping to see the defendant himself testify today, and they said they had another witness who was supposed to testify this afternoon. However, her flight's delayed, so she's not going to be able to make it today. So that's all there is. There ain't no more. Tomorrow, I'll recap depending on what happens. I don't know. It depends on my location, depends on where I'm going to be, depends on if I have service. I don't know. Can't guarantee, but you can always, let's see what happens, and can't make any promises. That's why you need to have the bell set for notifications, because you won't know if you don't know. And if you don't check my channel to look and see if there's a stream scheduled for the day, you won't know. And in order to get the notifications, also, you have to enable YouTube notifications on your phone. If you don't do that, you're not going to get them. That's the way YouTube works. Do you think prosecution has a strong case at this point? Thank you so much for doing this from Denmark. Hello, Fisker. Hello to Denmark. I do. I think that the prosecution has a very strong case. I'm waiting, of course, to hear what the defense has to say about this framing theory that they have. But based on all of the circumstantial evidence of the cellular forensics, the things that were found inside Rob Tellis's phone, including the Google search images of Jeff Garriman's house, the maps of Jeff Garriman's house, the surveillance he seemed to have been conducting or in the neighborhood and around the neighborhood, all of the videos that were found of a car that looks just like his wife's Denali in the neighborhood at the time of the murder, the interaction with the sewer. I think he's a sewer worker, right, guys? Plumber of some sort. They were working in the area doing a sewer project in Garriman's neighborhood for at least the entire month of August and into September. He had an interaction with a guy in a Denali wearing that exact outfit on the day. I'm thinking circumstantial evidence is piling up against him, including the DNA of the defendant that was found in the fingernail clippings of the victim, Jeff Garriman. And then again, the sneakers that were cut up inside Jeff Garriman's house, inside Rob Telly's house, put underneath the sofa, and the cut up hat as well. So I do think the prosecution has a very strong case. If anybody can point out some possible good for the defense right now, please let me know. Funny, Scott. You're good. You're so good. 10 acres. Fuck you didn't read those emojis, but yeah. No, I think he'll testify, but maybe he'll testify at the end, Iceman. It's always a game time decision. All I said was that if I were the defense attorney, I would have put my client on the stand first to set the stage. They may put him on last. It's their choice what order they want to put the defendant on. And that Tellis wants to testify, and he wants to tell his story. And without his testimony, I think there's not a chance that he gets found not guilty, in my opinion. The defense did not rest. No, there's more witnesses starting tomorrow and continuing through the end of the week, because that's what their subpoenas said, and they don't have anybody available. Today's only Tuesday, so we could go into next week with this trial. We'll see. We will see. Yes. Delilah. I love that name, Delilah. Says, I agree. Too much evidence. Laura says, to be fair, it could have been a hairless pug that committed the crime. Yep. The hat, the bag, the sneakers, right? The bag. And that witness did say that the person she saw in the park had a black bag. The bag was clearly gray or like a light blue. Blood on his sneakers, KCL. Yep. Yeah, I don't see any positives on the defense side either. No solo cups over there either. Oh, I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow, Verbaler, so I was recommending some other places to watch the coverage. Defense Diaries, Brandy Churchwell, Recovery Addict. 3 good ones. Why do I always look so worried about something? I don't know. Is that like a diss about my wrinkles? Like what is that? Am I worried? I'm not worried about anything. Are you talking to me? What an odd comment for a man to make to a woman on YouTube. Anyone? I have no personal stake in this trial. I'm not worried about anything. Thanks for your concern, though. Oh, thanks, Iceman. He does have a unique gait. In fact, if you watch the 48 Hours episode that I linked to my pre-trial stuff, you can go watch that on YouTube. It is there was a cameraman who did a commercial with him, who filmed a commercial in the public administrator's office, and then saw the video on TV and said, "Oh my gosh, I know who that is. That's Rob Tellis." And he called the police, or he said he absolutely thought it was him because of the way he walked. So that was weird. And his lawyer has said Tellis is looking forward to telling his side. Says just little old me. Robbie Ropes is worried. So bizarre. No, it's not. It's not. I have a travel day. I have things and stuff. And I'm a mother. Thanks, Aunt. Thanks, Adam Drives Helen. Aunt Mel. Adam Drives Helen is a huge fan of our friend, Oblivious Benson, who, if you haven't been watching her lives, you might want to go over there and watch them because, as you know, she got her start right here on this channel when she called in randomly one day, many months ago. Many months ago, during a Long Island serial killer case show. And we've been friends ever since. And now she has her own channel. She's pretty awesome. Botox is the woman's best friend, then her man won't know she's disappointed in him. I have a serious look that people often mistake for worry. Oh, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't play poker, although I am a really excellent poker player. And usually I'm laughing. So that's interesting. Whatever. Oop. There it is. Yeah, that's what it is, Robbie. That's what it is. Yeah, I got a couple. KCL, the recent Ashley Benefield video on the motion for a new trial, which I think has a good chance, perhaps, based on the case law, of being granted based on the juror issue, the juror who lied on her questionnaire. And also about, I did a Matthew Perry stream yesterday talking about the federal indictment of Matthew Perry's dealer in North Hollywood, the K Queen, they call her, or she called herself, I'm not even sure. And also one of his doctors has been indicted. They're facing up to life in prison. And we went through the actual indictment, read the indictment together and talked about it. Devastating, fascinating, and, scary all at the same time. But at least somebody's going to pay, at least in conspiracy charges, drug dealing charges, and stuff as such like that. No nonsense face. I like that. Thank you for sharing the Matthew Perry video. I appreciate that. Could be worse. It could always be worse. I've been called far worse. I just think that's such an odd comment for a man to make. It's like weird. People tell you you look like a scared rabbit. It's so weird. It's almost like people put in the chat, like, you look so tired today. Like, that is not a compliment. That is like the biggest insult that you could say to somebody. You look so tired. Meaning those bags under your eyes are not carry-on, ma'am. Or, the concealer is not working so great today. Like, oh, so ridiculous. Thank you. Hit the like, the bell for all notifications of all future chats. And thank you. He looked like a man. He said he was a man in his handle. So whatevs. Yeah, I mean, people think, some women are intimidating. I don't know. But I will say to you, thank you for tuning in. Hit the like button on the way out. And thank you. Thank you, Iceman. Always coming in with such nice compliments. Iceman, you might be able to find a lady in this chat. You're the nicest of all. Well, not the nicest, but I think all the guys who hang in here are really nice. Thank you. Thank you so very much. They're done for today, DK, sadly. They only had one witness for the afternoon, one witness in the morning. We covered it both in 2 different streams because yesterday's stream was demonetized for some unknown reason that I don't know. That's why sometimes they split it up into 2, because that way if they demonetize one, the other one still has a shot of getting some views. And it's not even really about the ad revenue. It's about them shadow banning the video so it doesn't get out there and nobody sees it. And I feel like nobody's really watching this trial anyway. It feels like, but we are. So that's it. And that's what we're doing here. So thanks, you guys. Be cool, be kind, be classy. Until the next time. See you real soon. Peace, everyone. Have an awesome rest of your evening.